Of the hundreds and hundreds of blocks in Minecraft, most of them you can get at your base from your backyard, but some of them require you to travel far away from your house and into even the boggiest and froggiest of biomes.
So we're all the way over in the mangrove swamp, because of course we find frogs in the mangrove swamp. And while frogs are very special on their own, what they're really used for is making frog lights. And to get all the frog lights, we need all the different types of frogs. So before we can build a real farm, we must do is build a breeding pen to get all the different colors of frogs by raising them up in all the different types of biomes.
Now we are all the way over back close to our base. You can see the palm tree in the church we worked on about 2 videos ago. And we're at a very interesting point because if you can see up here, there is a tri-point between a cold biome being the snowy slopes, a hot biome being a savanna, and a temperate biome being the plains. This is a pretty rare point in any world, but it's pretty easy to find once you start looking at tri-sections between savanna, snowy slopes, and plains. And so over here, I turned down the biome blend to basically nothing so you can clearly see where the biomes are. Of course, in the temperate biomes, we'll get the normal orange frogs, and the savanna, we'll get the kind of beigeish frogs, and then in the snowy biome, we'll get the beautiful green frogs. And these are very special places where you can easily raise up all the frogs in one place and not have to go through any biome changes. And so with that, we're going to clean this place up a little bit, build a little makeshift area for us to work in to raise our frogs, and we'll be able to raise up all the frogs and build our Froglight Farm. Now that they're all grown up, we can see that we have all the colors, not only the white ones that we started with, but also the orange ones you can find in the swamp. And of course, the reason why we're all doing this is for the beautiful green frogs, because they don't really naturally spawn, because they need to be spawning in a cold biome, which doesn't include swamps or mangroves. So with that, we're going to breed them up a couple more times and then put them back in the... So I'm going to breed them one more time, and in the meantime, while we're waiting on the frog spawn to actually work and the tadpoles to grow up, we're going to go ahead and build the Froglight Farm. With that done, I went ahead and bred up 4 of each of the colors of frogs. And so we have 12 in total, and all we have to do is come in and break a little hole and put them in here. You can see it's already working pretty well, but let's first get out of here. So this farm is incredibly simple. All we have going on is this powdered snow every 2 or so blocks that kill the magma cubes and break them down into the smallest form so that the frogs can eat them and then turn them into froglights. So you fly up here to the AFK spot, soon we'll see all the magma cubes start to spawn in, and then we'll see them die and get smaller. But overall, this is a pretty easy farm to make, and it gets us any froglights we'll ever need, ever. I don't know if they implemented some weight mechanics in Minecraft, but for some reason the minecart keeps coming to a complete stop, so I'm just going to fix this with some more power rails. And after fixing that, I may be out of gold officially, but it is working smoothly, and we've already gathered up quite a bit of froglights, even though we haven't been here for very long. And so for today's big build, we're only going to need 8 ochre froglights. The good thing is that whenever we'll need any froglights in the future, we've already built the farm for it. So with that, we're going to be returning to the city build. And one thing about it is that after looking at a couple reference photos, I noticed that cities don't usually exist on one side of the street. Usually when you have a street, there's a building on one side, there's a building on the other. So today we're going to fill up this corner. So the farm is now 100% completed. So let's just go check it out. So it's pretty simple. It's just the same design we used on the bamboo farm. We have this flying machine inside these little compartments, and we have sugarcane growing up. It's really simple. So we have 2 layers to the farm, one here and one there. And again, it's just the same way the bamboo farm works, where we have this clock here. It goes up. These observers bring it up to the 2nd floor. Then we have a hopper minecart going up and down to make sure that we collect all the bamboo. What it's trying to do right now is just drop the sugarcane into this hole where it leads into our storage system for the rest of the area. But at this point, it's currently not working because there's no sides. It can just fall on the ground, and it does that all the time. So we need to put in like a chute, and of course that comes with the rest of the building, which you might as well just get into right now. A lot of time it's hard to come up with things to say while making videos because you're mostly just explaining things that are pretty obvious of what you're doing, yet you still have to say something. So the building's done, and I'm quite happy with it. So we have the first floors actually open and available to walk in, which is pretty unique because a lot of the times the farms take up most of the building. Over here for the corner, we have like a clothing store or whatever. We just have a bunch of armor. It's pretty cool. And what I wanted to do here is kind of display the armor trims we have, and there's enough room for all of them in the game. But as you can see, we're missing a few, which I'm not too pressed about. We can get them when we get them, but I really like how it's kind of a display of what we've done so far in the world and like how far we explored, which is pretty cool. And on the tables we have some displays. We have like a few horse armors, the elusive emerald horse armor, and of course a couple helmets as display. That's a cool little shop on this side. And on the other side of the building we have this kind of cafe, coffee area, whatever it is. And on the outside we have this covered sitting area too, alongside this little balcony, whatever you want to call it. But the real magic in the farm is of course upstairs, and we can still access it through this side door right here. So we can come up. We don't really need to do anything with it. There's nothing to repair, nothing to replace, but it's still nice to have access if and when things break. Overall, this is a huge improvement to our city, and this is starting to feel a lot more complete because again, instead of being like a strip of houses, we now have like almost a completed area, as long as you're looking from this angle. This build also led us to extend the city down towards this area, where we descend a few blocks, but we also are still going to build up this walkway. So we're going to have a row of buildings over here, and for the last thing of today's episode, we're going to build up a nice little house over here in order to complete the area a little bit more. This is now my third time recording this bit. So the first time I noticed that this quartz slab was missing, and for the second time my microphone wasn't even plugged in. But now we can finally check out this house, where it's like an East Coast style, something you would see in New York, with a nice big bay window and a bunch of white trimmings and outlines. Coming inside, there's no farms in this building. There's only a few empty side rooms where something small can be put in, like a cocoa bean farm. But currently we have no need for any of those, so they will remain empty, but we'll fill them up one day. So this build isn't very functional, as was anything else we built around here, but it's a nice little thing to add in, something small to fill up the area. Overall, these two builds add a lot to the area, because instead of being just a row of houses like Skid Row or something, it is now feeling like a proper lived-in city, and that's just really awesome to see how far this area has come. And over all this time is really starting to be gratifying. And even though we have a few plots left open, they will be filled very, very shortly. So we are back at our main base, and over here on the RetroDo channel, we like to have a tradition of comment of the day. And so let's just take a comment from the last episode and read it out, and I can explain, answer any questions, anything like that. And a comment from the last episode came from Ginger Mold, where they expressed that they really liked the video and they waited on for it. And so I don't have the best track record of creating videos. I definitely do this in my free time when I want to, and it's not serious. But if you are waiting for it, and if you did enjoy episodes like these, then please show your appreciation. Because if you want to see more, then I would like to make more. When I can, of course. I do have a lot of fun making these episodes, and it's something of an art form to me where I can express myself, and that's really great. So if you do appreciate it, you do enjoy watching, then I really appreciate you. And so with that, I think this is the end of the episode.